Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with an episode of GravyTraining. This time, we're finally gonna do it. I'm gonna take you guys on a journey through a game that I've been playing quite a bit lately. The game is called Astroneer. It is a sandbox survival uh, science crafting exploration base building interstellar exploring kind of game. This game is on Steam right now. It's on Steam and probably other places too. um but it is a good game. It's a lot of fun to me if you're into this kind of thing, and so far it seems like many of you are, based on the survey results. So I've been playing this game for a couple of years on and off, although it recently had a massive 1.0 update when it went from early access to full release. Um, Basically, almost the entire game was redone. I mean, some of the core mechanics and things like that stay the same, but it was literally a whole new world generation engine. All new, like, crafting and vehicles, and everything was pretty much redone from the ground up. And they did a really good job on it. I think there's probably more coming. They have done a really good job. There's definitely updates and all that. So, yeah, let's get to it. So, I'm going to start a new game and play a fresh game with you guys, so you can kind of have a full let's play and all that stuff. I don't know how these suits are unlocked. I tend to like the flight suit. This is just aesthetics, though. You can change the suits in-game whenever you like. And you can also change the color palettes. I am going to go, I like this Exo Teal. That one. Visor color, I tend to just go with the silver. Although this time, we'll go with the gold. And that's it. So let's start a new game. I'm going to go ahead and run through the intro sequence and let you guys see that and see on the other side. Maybe it was just the tutorial that was a little bit off. I remember there being more. So a couple of things you're going to see right away. You are going to see there's kind of like that little glowing pillar off the distance. I guess I'm pointing to it in a completely different spot. That's weird. So you can see it kind of off in the distance over there. That is going to be it's a transport that you can get to, and you have to activate it and blah blah blah. So apparently it looks like so you can see over there where their little circle is, that's where I'm actually pointing on my screen. The white dot is out of sync, so ignore the white dot and look at the circle. So I'm using the right mouse button to look around, or holding the right mouse button to look around and turn and all that stuff. You can see here I have this tether going to my base for my power and oxygen. You can see here the blue bar up here is oxygen. The yellow lights here are power. I'm going to use the Q key to pull up my backpack, and I can click on the research catalog, get the research items here. Right now, we're going to close that. You can hit F to open and close that. You can hit E, and that's going to pull. This is your build tool or your terrain tool. This is your lifeblood for the game. And I just hit Q again to close that. First thing I want to do is come over here, and I'm going to examine the landing pad by hitting F. And I'm going to deploy the starting cargo drop. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me a platform, an oxygenator, and a medium printer. So first and foremost, so you can see the longer I'm away from a base, my health or my oxygen meter goes down, connect back up, and you fill back up. So I'm going to put this, grab this, and you can easily see what it is as you're holding on to it. Use C and V, and I'm just going to put this up close near the base, and I'm going to hold F, and it'll unpack the item. Now you can pick it up again as long as it's not plugged in. So I'm just going to keep this up nice and close to the base to save space. Grab, these are our cable, like power cables, cable plugs, and just plug it into the other side. So now this is going to get power coming out. And next, I have an oxygenator. I'm going to take that. If I want to be able to get oxygen anywhere further away than the shelter, I'm going to need to have an oxygenator. And that goes right on here. So now when I build other platforms, or when I build tethers, like chains of tethers, they will provide oxygen and power on the tethers. Finally, medium printer. I'm going to pull this aside. I am not going to use it quite yet because I need to gather some basic materials first. Now, let me go over a few things about your build or your terrain tool. So you can see here, there's a couple of things. So the ring on the outside is dark. The ring on the inside is light. The arrow is pointing down, which means it's digging. If you hold the Alt key, it will build. So if you have a canister with some dirt in it, you can build up and create terrain. And if you hold the Control key, you will flatten terrain on whatever the point is, that the facet is that you have targeted. So first and foremost, I am just going to grab some of this compound. This bubbly looking stuff is compound. This is one of the core building materials. And you can just kind of hold the button around and get a bunch of this until your backpack is full of compound. And don't worry about leaving a big hole here. So I can get like one more. Go ahead and get one more. Alright, I can get two more because it'll actually show up on your terrain tool as well. Alright. Now that I'm full on that, and I'll remember to come back in and get some oxygen. So, my backpack can craft items by itself. There are only smaller items, but I can craft Feather Bundle. Feather Bundle. And normally it'll go back on the backpack, but there wasn't room. So they're going to show up here. So now I'm going to empty some of these off. Right now I'm just going to kind of drop them down here. Grab them. They don't despawn or anything like that. And you can use the left and right arrows here to create oxygen filters. Canister we were talking about before to store dirt. Work light, small generator. We will probably craft one of those here shortly. You can craft a small printer. We will craft one of those right away. And we're going to go ahead and put it over here. The side that it prints on, though, is the side with that little pointy thing. You can use C and V to rotate. And then it shows you what it will be printing. You just select that item and hit F. You can pull up its menu and you can see the different things that it can craft. Right now, we're not going to worry about that. And we're going to go ahead and craft the generator as well, because we will need that. And I'm going to put that one. You don't necessarily have to have line of sight to drag something, but I'm going to drop that here, and this requires organic to power. Organic is pretty easy to come by. Basically, all these plants, if you harvest them, and all you need to do is harvest the surface, they provide organic. So we're going to go ahead and come back here, drop this off. I'm not going to put, well actually I'm going to switch it off if you select it. I'm going to hit F, switch it off, and I can drag that fuel over to there, and it will run whenever I turn it back on. So I've got, I'll show you a research real quick. I've got this stuff here. I can come back in and top off on this at any time. This will be a fairly extensive first source of compound. But what I'm also going to want is some other resources. So I'm going to need to get some resin right away. And there'll be some other surface resources we'll be able to pick up. First and foremost, though, you're going to see different plants that have these kind of stem-looking things on them. So if you select, like, just put your cursor, and you're going to not see it lining up, but I'm going to put my cursor right on there, and then I'm just going to hold F, and I'm going to scan it. You can see bytes gained 15. Bytes correspond to the bytes here, and you have to have certain number of bytes to unlock recipes. So it's like research bytes. Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to get real far if I have to keep running back and forth. So you see there's the resin over there that I'm looking for. And I have these tethers that I crafted. So by hitting T, I will drop a tether. And they will automatically connect up. And now I can run out here and not suffocate. And gather up some of this stuff. And this will supply both oxygen and power as we're going along here. So now I've got a few of these. Let's go ahead and we're going to create a canister. And what that canister will allow us to do is, as we dig, you'll see now it's currently empty. And also, you notice there's a little white spot on the outer edge, the outer ring of our reticle here. Now watch as I dig. There's a blue band that's filling up there. That is the level, and that corresponds, if you see in the upper right up here, that corresponds to the soil that's filled up in here. So now, if I want to build up or build a bridge or anything like that, I have the ability to do that. I'll actually have soil. I'm going to get down here and fill up pretty good. That's another resource. That is some graphite. So this is a full planet too that we're on. Like, we can actually go all the way to the center. Technically we could go all the way across. Like, there's vast caverns and stuff like that. So I'm kind of dug a little deep down here. I'm gonna build myself a little exit. I can get out of the hole. I'm gonna go drop off some of these materials and do a little bit more crafting. So let's move this out of the way. Let's do this. Now we're gonna go ahead and build. These are one of the things that are automatically researched. So we're gonna build a medium platform. Yeah, now this one is small. It's got two side ones. You can see here on the description. I'm gonna go ahead and print that. Oh no, this is really, really small. So we've got this. Now we want to set this up for the printer. So we're going to go ahead. I mean, you can move these things after they're down, so don't stress too much. I'm going to unpack it and shift it just that little bit. Once again, C and V will turn. Drop it down. It will not anchor until it's plugged in. And it's just locked into the ground. Now you can't pick it up. Now we're going to go ahead and unpack the printer, and we're going to put it up there. And this one works the same way the other one did. So if we wanted to build larger platforms, a research chamber, which we'll absolutely need, a large printer, which we don't need right now, and that's all that we have access to as far as recipes go. So I'm going to grab a couple more of these, because as long as they're on my person, I can craft directly. So we're going to craft a large platform now. That takes 2 resin. So that'll start. While that's going on, we're going to go ahead and craft a medium storage. And those will do their thing. Empty off this stuff. Definitely going to need plenty of resin. At least will. So we're going to go get some more resin. And then when I'm done, I'm going to cover up this hole so that I don't fall into it, drive into it, or anything like that. So, getting more resin. And you can see now I'm out of the tether length, so I'm just going to drop another one. You break connection with the tether before you're out of tether range. I'm going to go ahead and grab, actually that's not graphite, that is going to be sphalerite, which is what zinc comes from. Zinc will be used to craft like terrain tool mods and things like that. You don't need a whole bunch. I'm going to go ahead and grab some while it's down here. Pretty easy to come across. So each planet has certain resources you can get there. Some of them are available on all planets. Compound and resin pretty much are available anywhere. Some of the rest of this are not. So you won't be able to get iron on the planet you spawn on, things like that. Okay. Grab a little more of this. See if there's any more resin around. Hiding up in here. Little bit over here. And some up here. Grab it all. It's not going to be hard to find resin, but let's just grab a bunch of it so we don't have to make trips. And grab this little bit. Oh, not quite enough. And be careful, it's really easy to miss and accidentally run out of oxygen. So I'm going to drop another tether here. I accidentally unburied the other one. I just need to get enough to finish this block of materials. So when you hear that little ding, that means that it's filled up and you've got a complete piece there. I should be full. I'm just going to go ahead and select this item and I'm going to hit F. F will automatically put onto your backpack whatever it is you're holding. So you can always reshape the terrain to better suit what you need to do. So let's do really quick. I don't want to leave this gaping hole here. So I'm going to show you guys how to use the flattening tool. So the flattening tool, you can see, so I'm holding down control right now, and the blue bar around the outside of that ring is full, which means that I have a full container of dirt, soil. So whatever facet, that center dot there is the facet that I'm centered on, and it will use that as the reference point for the flat plane. So I'm going to pick this one here, and I'm going to keep holding control and just sliding it along. When I let up, it's going to choose a new reference point. So there we go. And it'll be pretty easy to see that this is where it was coming from, etc. I'll do the same when I'm done with that hole for the compound. But if I do it at a different angle, it's going to flatten on the different angle, etc. So just hold it here. Wherever you start and then drag is wherever it does from there. It's also good when you want to collect organic and things like that. You can just hold and you'll flatten the ground and you'll collect the organic materials, etc. It's also helpful to flatten out the area that you're starting in. I'm going to just drop off a bunch of this stuff. We've got a couple of things that we can build right away. I'm going to go ahead and unpack this large platform. Spin it a little bit, a little semicircle area here. Actually, I'm going to set this aside for just a moment. We're going to go ahead and flatten this. So I'm going to find this area up close to the shuttle. And I'm just going to hold and flatten all of this. A nice, solid, stable, non-bumpy area to work with. Just around the immediate area of the base. Give me a nice, solid foundation for this. Ways out, back around, extend it out a little way here, and you can see it's using up a little bit of soil. As I'm flattening, it'll use more if I'm building a bridge or some other type structure. Let's just flatten all of this. I feel like Bob Ross makes a nice, happy, flat ground. Just a happy little accident. Give us a little bit of runoff area. And there we go. So now I'm back over here, can pick this back up and go to put it down, and it's going to be flat instead of wobbly. Doesn't matter too much, it's just aesthetically it looks better. We plug that one in and it's got power. Now I am probably going to take the printer, put it over here, and I'm going to unpack the storage, and put the storage next to the printer. The reason that I'm doing this is that these storage or these printers will feed from attached storage. So right now, all I've got is compound and resin. So I'm going to throw compound on one side, throw resin on the other. See, it's already auto feeding based on whatever recipe is there. And just for organizational purposes, I'm going to not put any compound in. So that'll be kind of a little life hack to make things easier as we're building our base. The other thing is there's not really any sort of time constraints here. Your resources are going to be here one way or the other, so let's go at your own pace. For efficiency's sake, I'm going to move this oxygenator over here to this single because it's not doing anything else right now. Is there anything else that I want to craft right at the moment? So let's craft. We're going to need one more large platform, so we'll go ahead and craft that. Meantime, is there anything else I want to craft here? Nope. Not at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to start doing some research and collecting some of the stuff around there. We're also going to be going down into the ground and exploring all that the world has to offer. I have played this version of the game before, but a lot of this stuff is still kind of new, and I figured starting from the very beginning would be a great place as far as getting ready for us to go through and see what you think. So I'm going to probably give this 3 episodes. I'm going to film 3 of them at once and get back to you guys and post the videos, and after 3 episodes you can let me know what you think about this game, and then I may try some other games, and then we'll see what we want to continue. If you guys like these, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. Do you enjoy this game? Do you play this game? This is potentially co-op, so down the line we could do some co-op stuff. I don't want to start that way. This is already a little bit different for me doing this kind of streaming as opposed to the dungeon boss stuff. But I'll get used to it pretty quickly. And yeah, so let me know what you think. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here. We're at about 30 minutes. So thanks for watching. Hit a thumbs up and a subscription and hit the bell and all those other YouTube things. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.